Welcome back to Arts Weekly. Joining me is Karen Gibbons-Brown, Executive Artistic Director of the Fort Wayne Ballet. Karen, always good to have you on the show.
Thanks so much for having me. I always enjoy it.
What's new at the ballet this year?
Well, the big news is we have moved spaces. Our temporary home of 48 years on Penn Avenue is now at 300 East Main Street, directly across from the Arts United Center. And it's a part of the Art Center for Arts and Culture, which has a bakery going in. ArtLink is moving in this week coming up, and Arts United's offices are there, as well as Fort Wayne Trails. Some other things going on there. And
that's at the Our Center for Culture and Arts, 300 East Main.
Right.
As you say, directly across the street from the Museum of Art and the Arts United Center. That's quite a nice trio of culture and arts we have going on there on Main Street now.
Excuse me. I think the original intent of the architect, Louis Kahn, was to have an arts campus. And as funds ran short, they put things on hold. And now we're back to that original concept. A little bit revised, but back to that concept.
So it's a wonderful space. I visited it once, and I know that this is going to allow you to do a lot of things, the ballet, that you really might not have had a chance to do in the past. Tell us about some of the new classes you're going to be able to offer, and some of the other activities you're going to do.
Well, first of all, it's a visual billboard. You can see the dancers working at any given moment when you're in the space, or on the street actually. You can look up on the second floor and see the dancers working with all the windows that are there. We're able to do our family series in the studio space as opposed to the gallery of the theater, which was, again, across the street from our new space. We're able to collaborate with ArtLink, some of these other arts groups, both in our programming, our arts programming, but also in our operating model as far as sharing some administrative work, some workrooms, copy machines, things people wouldn't think of that we need to do to keep our organizations going.
And now the building, it's open every day and people can walk in. You say there's a bakery going in.
Yes.
People can just walk in and have something to eat, and they can look through the window and there's all the ballerinas. That sounds like fun.
Well, the one wall in our primary studio is all glass. So when you walk in the atrium, you look up and there are dancers at work almost all day long. And it's really lovely. It's spectacular.
It is spectacular. It's very nice. I'm very happy for you.
Thank you.
You're also going to begin, or maybe you're not beginning, but you're going to offer more adult dance classes this year. Is that correct?
We are. We have a 10-class pass, and you can come when you choose, but we have ballet, of course. We have jazz, Pilates, Zumba, and I'm sure I'm leaving something out, but there's an adult class every day during the day. Yoga, yes, thank you. Every day, and then also in the evening we have adult classes.
Wow, that's fantastic. And they could just go to fortwayneballet.org, your website, and find out more about these classes if our audience is interested.
So the bakery is working out something where you can put in your lunch order, which is a gluten-free bakery, and you can place your lunch order, come take class, and pick up your lunch to go.
Get all hungry, burning off those calories.
That's right.
Put them back right on.
We'll have a healthy lunch.
You also have some new faculty coming in
this
year.
We've already begun our classes, but joining us this year is David Ingram and his wife Alexis. Ingram, she took his last name, but David is one of our students who trained here at Fort Wayne Ballet and has gone off and had a lovely career, is still choreographing internationally, and is making Fort Wayne his home base again.
Oh, wow.
So that's pretty exciting for us.
Welcome back, David. On October 1st, you open with Celebrations.
Right.
The first concert of the year, and tell us a little bit about that.
We have two things happening that particular day. In the morning at 10 and 11:30, we have The Very Hungry Caterpillar, which is the first of our three-part family series, and it's for the young and young at heart. So please bring a blanket and sit on the floor of the studios and watch the youth company.
10 and 11:30.
10 o'clock is the first performance, 11:30 is the second. But it's very up close and personal. So the dancers that are performing when the performance is over, it's about 25 minutes, they come and intermingle, work with the students or the young people or the young at heart that are there and give them prizes. So you get to see the costumes up close, you get to see the dancers.
Sounds like a wonderful opportunity for the ballerina to be, or take your child to. And
it's very, it was one of my favorite things to do as a dancer, but to let the children in the audience see the costumes and the work that goes into that piece of art as well.
There must be a lot of oohs and ahs.
It's fun. Then in the evening, we open our main company season on the main stage with Celebrations, which is a repertory program. And on the repertory program, we have a little bit of everything. We have Grand Papakita, which is a classical ballet in the Russian style, choreographed by Marius Petipa. Some contemporary works choreographed by David Ingram, Tracy Tritz-Hartman. We have birthday variations, which we had permission from the Arpino Trust last year to perform.
That's Gerald Arpino.
Yes, the Joffrey Ballet.
Big success last year, and you're bringing that back.
It was, and we have permission to do it this year again, so we'll repeat that performance with a few cast members that have changed, and some other things in between. So it's, a lot of people call it a sampling of dance.
Sure, you can see all the different styles of ballet. Right. A lot of people think that ballet is one thing.
All tutus.
Yeah, tutus and point,
right.
But it's really a lot, the form has really evolved a lot.
Has it not? You cannot lose your classical roots. However, that is the means to the end, and there are a lot of things that are relevant in today's world that we try and touch on. Well,
you put it right. If you want a sample of all those different styles, come to Celebrations. That's going to be on October 1st. Where is that going to be?
Across the street at the Arts United Center.
You have to walk all the way across the street.
All the way across the street into the theater, and then afterwards there's an opening night reception. You know, we're celebrating our 55th anniversary, the Fort Wayne Ballet. That is our emerald anniversary.
Oh my God.
It's a big year for us. We've done a lot of things. We've made some changes for the positive, grown some.
Yes.
And it's a lot to celebrate.
You know, one thing I always liked about, you mentioned costumes, but I always liked going into the costume room of the ballet and see, did that move down there with you? Or?
It did. It is there, and the bonus is the washer and dryer are right in the costume room, as opposed to beside the copy machine in our old space. But the costume shop is with us. We've had to find some off-site storage for some of the work that Tess Heat, our costumer, has done, but she has a lovely workshop.
Oh, that's good. I mean, she deserves it. A lot of costumes. You're also going to be having a champagne reception on opening night for Celebrations, are you not?
We are. The curtain is at 8:30. The program is about an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes. And upstairs in the gallery, we're celebrating all the wonderful things that we have, both in our past, our present, and then hopefully to come.
And the gallery above the Arts Center. I'm going to have to get used to distinguishing between Arts United Center, which is on one side of the street, and the Our Center for Culture and Arts, right?
There's a lot of similarity in that, isn't it?
You just get down there and you'll find it.
Right. Well, it's labeled. We have a lovely sign that goes on the rounded part of the new space at 300 Main Street, East Main.
Oh, it's going to be really fast. Now, for the reception, do people meet the dancers and the performers as well during the reception?
That's a part of why it's after the performance as opposed to prior to. The dancers couldn't come prior to. They're warming up and preparing. So after the performance, we do have the dancers come up to meet and greet the public as well. And it's always nice for them to be able to hear what the people have seen through someone else's eyes, as opposed to being the dancer and only seeing it through your own eyes.
Indeed, it's good feedback.
Right.
Now, you also do the Fables, Folk and Fairy Tales.
Right.
This year you're going to be doing the Very Hungry Caterpillar.
That's the first one in the space, in the new space, in our center.
Yeah.
And then,
in the ballet studio itself.
In the ballet studio itself, right. And then the second of the series will be in the winter, and that will be Peter Pan. And the third is the Tales of Beatrix Potter in the spring. Right,
and these are for children as well, or?
The goal of this is to introduce younger people to movement in a situation or a setting where they are very comfortable. So they sit on the floor, and the dancers are really right in front of them. There's not the orchestra pit space that you often see for more formal dance.
Yes. Well, how many studios do you actually have in the new space? Is it just one big one, or?
It's 4.
4?
3 of our 4 studios have windows to the outside, and the 4th one it's an inside space, so it has an observation window as well as a children's observation window. Instead of the children reaching up high and bumping their chins on the window frame, we put a window low for them.
Oh, that's nice. So if you're a parent, you drop your child off, you have a cup of coffee down at the bakery, and you could just sit there and relax. Very beautiful space, great light coming in the windows.
There's Wi-Fi, yes.
Yes.
Couldn't do without that, right?
Get some. Of course, the ballet always does the Nutcracker every year.
Coming up.
You're going to be doing that again this year.
December 2nd through 11th, and we've added a 3rd performance with the Fort Wayne Philharmonic this year.
Oh my gosh.
We've done 2 in our past, and
Yeah.
we're adding the 3rd one. The first matinee of the first weekend will be with the orchestra as well.
Well, Nutcracker is a must-see. No matter if you're into ballet or not, it's one of the most classic experiences of a lifetime, I think. And
We think so.
And we do it every year.
Right.
You also have the fundraiser coming up at
We
the
do.
Fort Wayne Museum of Art. Tell us a little bit about that.
The Princess Tea has turned into a signature event for us, and it's where young ladies come with parents, grandparents. We also have young men and fathers, grandfathers come, but they sit down and enjoy tea and crumpets, so to speak, and the dancers walk with them in their costumes, sit down and talk with them at the table, and then they perform.
Oh my gosh, and grandparents can come too.
Right. Oh, of course. It's a family event.
You have to.
Right.
You know, Karen, I'm so happy for you and for the ballet, especially having this new space. It's so much better than the old space.
We loved our old space.
Yes.
But this one is really quite amazing.
And I think it's going to make a big difference. Like you say, now you're able to offer adult classes of various kinds, more children's programming. I just wish you the best this season, and I'm really, really happy. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks, my pleasure.
For more information about the Fort Wayne Ballet and how you can get tickets to their events, visit fortwayneballet.org or call 484-9646. Arts Weekly airs every week, Tuesday through Thursday on College Access Television and most Sundays on WFWA PBS 39. You can also see us on YouTube and Facebook and follow us on Twitter. I'm Chuck O'Connor. Thanks for tuning in to Arts Weekly. Join me next week with guests Craig Humphrey and Victoria Ziske from the IPFW Department of Theater and Philip Colglazier from the Fort Wayne Civic Theater. Recently, Arts Weekly spoke with Jane Applegate and Greg Jacobs from Tech Venture.
And so it's, a lot of people will look at this thing and go, that's crazy, or that's whimsical, or why would anyone waste their time? But the gentleman who designed it is a neuroscientist. He's a very, very smart, I mean, I would consider him a brilliant man. And it's very technologically challenging, the problem solving that they put into this unit, because I mean, to get 250 fish to sing and dance, I mean, that's a pretty large task, wouldn't you think?
I don't know if it's talented or what, but it sure sounds fun. Watch Arts Weekly on Sundays at 7:30 p.m. on WFWA PBS. Recently, Arts Weekly spoke with Karen Gibbons-Brown from the Fort Wayne Ballet.
You can see the dancers working at any given moment when you're in the space, or on the street actually. You can look up on the second floor and see the dancers working with all the windows that are there. We're able to do our family series in the studio space as opposed to the gallery of the theater, which was again across the street from our new space. We're able to collaborate with ArtLink, some of these other arts groups, both in our programming, our arts programming, but also in our operating model as far as sharing some administrative work, some workrooms.
Watch Arts Weekly on Sundays at 7:30 p.m. on WFWA PBS.